Welcome to Basic Embedded Systems Training. In this session, we will cover counters. So these timers can also be used as counters for counting events happening outside the 8051. So when the timer is used as a counter, it is a pulse outside of the 8051 that increments the TH0 or TH1 and TL0 or TL1. So when C by T bar equal to 1, the counter counts up as pulses are fed from the timer 0, T0 pin or T1 pin. So that is the pin number 14 and pin number 15, alternate functions for the both 3.4 and 3.5. So already we discussed that the internal 8051 supports crystal oscillator. So assume that if the frequency is 12 megahertz crystal frequency, and that 12 megahertz frequency is given input to the timers with the help of a prescaler. Here that prescaler value is 1 by 12. So that always the on-chip oscillator is divided by 1 by 12, that equal to, so assume that it is a 12 megahertz, then 12 divided by 12 equal to 1 megahertz is a frequency given to these timers. So you can use timer 0 or timer 1, timer 0 port 3.4, timer 1 port 3.5. So this pin selects the C by T bar that indicates counter or timer. If it is 1, it is called as a counter. If it is 0, this one is called as a timer. And next one, timer run controller bit. So timer run controller bit here, that is directly connected to the one of the input to the AND gate. And second one is depends on gate signal and INT 0 or INT 1 pin. Okay, so if gate signal equal to 0, then automatically here input is again not operation performed, complemented of this gate called as a 1. If it is internal, no problem, then automatically that depends on TR0 or TR1. If it equal to 1, then automatically timer will be started or counter will be started. But here, so counter is selected with the help of gate bit equal to 1. If gate bit equal to 1, then automatically this bubble indicates that inverting of that gate bit equal as a 0. So that it depends on INT 0 or INT 1. If it is INT 0 or INT 1 equal to 1 and TR0 or TR1 equal to 1, then automatically countdown will be starting. Okay, so here if gate bit equal to 1, that depends on external, not internal. Okay, next counters, same, this one also supported 4 modes. So first mode is mode 0, 13-bit counter mode, mode 1, 16-bit counter mode, mode 2, 8-bit auto reload mode, and mode 3, splitted counter mode. So here first one, the default modes used is mode 1 and mode 2. One is auto reload function and second one is 16-bit counter. So counter and mode 1. So it supports 16-bit counter. So TL0 or TH0 for timer 0, TL1 and TH1 for timer 1. So this is incremented when TR0 is set to 1 for timer 0 and an external input pulse in T0 occurs. So when the counter reaches its maximum value, we know that maximum of 16-bit is called as a 16 months, that equal to 4FF, and it rolls over to the 00 by the time which generates on overflow flag. If it is timer 0, then generates timer 0 overflow flag with the help of TF0. If it is timer 1, then automatically it generates TF0 or TF1 overflow flag. So the programmers should monitor TF0 continuously and stop the counter, because always the flags are set by hardware, clear by software. And counter in mode 2. So it is 8-bit counter which allows only values from 00s to FFH to be loaded into TH0. So auto reloading function supported. So TL0 is incremented if TR0 equal to 1 and external pulse occurs. Example, assume that clock pulses are fed into pin T1. Write a program for counter 1 in mode 2 to count the pulses and display the state of the TL1 count on port 2. So for this case, first we select TMOD register is initialized with 011 with 5 zeros. It is binary representation. Hash indicates that immediate value. So 0 indicates that 0, here, this one selects the mode to counter 1. Mode to counter 1 value, and initial value here is move th1 comma hash 0. Here initial value is loaded with 0, and set bit port 3.5. So make t1 input port. So we know that 1 indicates that input and 0 indicates that output. So here set bit tr1 start timer or counter. So here counter, start counter, and then whatever the value available on TL1, that is loaded into, readed into accumulator. That accumulator value is loaded into port 2. Here port 2, assume that port 2 is connected to the LCD display, so that whatever the value here, that value is displayed on port 2. Okay, then automatically wait for TF1. So overflow flag, if it is not overflow, again continuously keep on read and display. The continuous counting value will be displayed on port 2. After that, so stop counter, stop counter with the help of TR1 and clear overflow flag and SM2 again. So this process is continuous. So here always depends on TR1 and also called as T1. Next concept is 8051 interrupts concept. So we know that up to now, whatever the programs we completed in 8051, if you clearly observe that CPU can able to perform only one task at a time. So more number of tasks are not possible by using this CPU. So to complete more number of tasks, one mechanism introduces. That mechanism is called as a interrupts mechanism. With the help of interrupts mechanism, CPU can able to perform more number of tasks. So at a time it can perform timers, otherwise read data from memory, write data into memory, like more serial communication, more number of tasks are performed by using interrupts mechanism. So that is the advantage of interrupts. An interrupt is an external or internal event that interrupts the microcontroller to inform it that a device needs its services. What is the difference between interrupt versus polling method? A single microcontroller can serve several devices. So there are two ways to do that operation. So that is interrupts mechanism and then polling method. So the program which is associated with the interrupts is called the interrupt service routine or interrupt handler. So in polling method which keep on monitoring one particular task, so that CPU can able to perform only one task, one particular task. Whereas in interrupt mechanism, it can able to perform more number of tasks. That is the major difference between interrupts and pollings. Then what are the steps in executing an interrupt? The first, finish the current instruction and saves the program counter on stack, because always program counter points to the address of next executable instruction, not current instruction. So that finish the first instruction and saves the next instruction address onto the stack with the help of push operation. And next, jumps to a fixed location in memory depending on type of interrupt, and starts the execution the interrupt service routine until RTA. So written from the interrupts. Upon executing the RTA instruction, the microcontroller returns to the place where it was interrupted. So get the POP PC from stack point. These are the default steps in executing an interrupt mechanism. So what are the interrupt sources? So original 8051 has 6 sources of interrupts. One is reset. Second one is timer 0 overflow interrupt. Timer 1 overflow. External interrupt 0. External interrupt 1. Serial port events. These are the 6 different types of interrupt sources supported by 8051 microcontroller. So each interrupt has a specific place in code memory. So where program execution begins. The first interrupt is reset. So here not mentioned. First one is reset. So reset start with 4 zeros H. After that 0, 1, 2. Total 3 locations are reserved for reset interrupt. Next one is external interrupt 0. External interrupt 0 starting address is 000H. Then 8 locations 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A. Up to 8 location, up to A, 3 to A is reserved for external interrupt 0. And next one is timer 0 overflow. So timer 0 overflow start at 000BH plus 8 is nothing but up to 1 to H is reserved for timer 0 overflow. External interrupt 1. External interrupt starting address is 0013H and ending address is 1AH. Timer 1 overflow interrupt. So for this one, timer 1 overflow, starting address is 001BH and ending address is 22H. And next, serial communication interrupt like transmit or receiving interrupt. Starting address is 0023H and ending address is 002AH. If you observe clearly here, except reset, remaining these five interrupts internally allocated 8 memory locations. 8 memory location. If that interrupt service routine is simplified or completed within these 8 memory locations, then you can write here total program. Otherwise, you can create link. But for reset, only 3 locations are reserved. So this is the original structure of 8051 programming languages. So first one is here, one thing missing, that one is called as a origin 00H. The first step is origin 00H. And next step is SM to main. So within this origin 0, within these 3 bytes like 0, 1, 2, within these 3 bytes, you cannot perform any program. So that here we are creating a link with the help of SM to main. Okay. And second one is external interrupt 0, int 0. So external interrupt 0 starting address is 03H. So within 8 locations are reserved for this interrupt. Within these 8 locations, if completed, no problem. Otherwise, you can create the link here with the help of ljump space that particular service routine. Okay. So up to 2A is reserved. So beyond that 2A, you can use any location as a interrupt service location, otherwise main program locations. Okay, this is the internal structure of 8051 microcontroller programming. Then interrupt enable registers. All interrupts are disabled after reset. It is the note point. We can enable and disable them by using this interrupt enable register. So if you observe this interrupt enable register, it is a 8-bit register. In that 8-bit register, only 6 bits are available. Remaining 2 bits are not implemented. First one is EX0, so which is enable or disables external interrupt 0. And next ET0, if it is this is for enable or disables the timer 0 overflow interrupt. EX1 enable or disable external interrupt 1. ET1 enable or disable the timer 2 overflow, timer 1 overflow interrupt. And next ES indicates that enable or disables the serial interrupt. E22 is not available on 8051, it is available on 8052, so that neglect this one. So next one is EA. EA indicates that enable or disable, which act as a global pin for these registers. If enable all equal to 1, then then only this remaining internal enable or disable is activated. Otherwise, if enable all is disabled, then automatically internal whatever it may be, it will be disabled condition. So here 0 indicates that disable, 1 indicates that enable. Timer interrupt service routine. So in that note that there is no need for clear TF0 instruction in timer ISR. We know that flags are set by hardware, clear by software. It is the instruction we followed previously. So with the help of this interrupt mechanism, which automatically clears this overflow flag, so that no need to clear this overflow flag. So 8051 clears the TF internally upon jumping to the interrupt service routine. And next note point, we must reload timer in mode 1. There is no need on mode 2 because it is a auto reload function. And interrupt priorities. So here, if two interrupts occurs at a time, then what about the priority? Okay, so that priority default priorities are there. Then now you can change that priorities also with the help of this interrupt priority register. Okay, so the interrupt with the highest priority gets serviced first. All these interrupts have a power on default priority order. That is, first priority is external interrupt 0, second priority is timer interrupt 0, third priority is external interrupt 1, fourth priority is timer interrupt 1, fifth priority is serial communication interrupt like RI and TA. So priorities can also be set to high or low by using this interrupt priority register. Okay, so this is also same as IE register, but here priority is enabled or disabled. Only 5 bits are available. First one is priority enable or disable external interrupt 0 priority bit. Second one is timer 0 interrupt priority bit. Third bit is external interrupt 1 priority bit. Fourth bit is timer 1 interrupt priority bit. And fifth one is serial port interrupt priority bit. P2 timer 2 is not available on 8051, it is available on 8052, so that it is neglected. And assume that it is the example here given. For this example, we reinitialize these priorities. Move IP comma hash with 50100B. So here one is set at a third position from LSB. Third position is nothing but external interrupt 1. So that external interrupt 1 having the highest priority. After that INT 0, after that timer 0, after that timer 1, after that serial priority. Okay, this is the priority orders we can rearrange. Here is one example. So a 10 kilohertz frequency square wave with 50% duty cycle. Okay, by using interrupt method. So origin 00H, that indicates that program start at 00H memory location, and then next one is LGM to main. Otherwise, you can SM to main. No problem. That main can be written after 2B locations beyond that 2B, so that here starting address is 30H. So at 30H move tmod comma hash 02H, that indicates timer 0, mode 2 is in slice, and then mode 2 is called as the auto reload function. So that value given is TH0. In value TH0 we are given minus 50H, that is equal to 50 microseconds delay is given. So that 50 microseconds delay is loaded into TH0. Here minus indicates that 2's complement value is written into here. So we required count is 50 microseconds because one counting 1 microsecond for this 10 kilohertz frequency. On time is 50 microseconds, off time is 50 microseconds. So start timer, then automatically timer will be started, and then no need to wait for interrupt, no need to wait for overflow flag. So here simply write that move IE comma hash 82H. That indicates that in IE register MSB bit equal to 1, and then second LSB bit equal to 1. That enables the timer 0 interrupt. Okay, and next one is SM dollar. SM dollar indicates that stay in same address. Okay, exempted here. So what will happen here? If it is overflow, then automatically TF0 is generated. Whenever timer 0 overflow occurs, then automatically that enter into timer 0 interrupt service routine. Here timer 0 interrupt service routine is 000BH. Here we return complement of port 1.0. The previously it is 1, even now it is 0. So that again return interrupt, again written into here, again auto reloaded, again continue. Here no need to clear, and then no need to wait for overflow flags. So simply one time return, and auto continuously this program is executing. So we will verify this program in skill. Yeah, in this skill software here same origin 00H, origin 00, origin 00H, LGM to main program, LGM to main. Here origin 30H is written. Move tmod comma hash 02, that indicates timer 0 mode 2 is initialized, and then move initial value. We required count is 50 milliseconds, so that minus 50 is directly written. No problem, that will be converted into 2's complement value. Otherwise we need to convert and then assign that hexadecimal value. And here set bit timer 0 start timer, and then enable this interrupt enable register is enabled. So enable timer 0 interrupt, and then SM to dollar is nothing but, so enter into same address. So continuously keep on monitoring here. Whenever interrupt occurs, then automatically it enter into 00B, because 00B is reserved for timer 0. Here we initialize it timer 0, then enter into in this location. Here check whether this program is completed or not. Otherwise there is a link also possible to create here link and then write program beyond these locations. So here already 2 lines only, so that within 2 lines maximum 3 bytes allocated here, so that no problem within these 8 locations, each and every interrupt having 8 locations. So within these 8 locations you can complete these 3 locations 3 bytes instructions. So simply called as a complement port 1.0 and then return. So first one is rebuild this program. So zero errors and 3 warnings, no problem. Then debug, directly you can debug this one. And next run this program. So at port 1.0 created square wave. So it is about square wave generation by using interrupt mechanism. And next, write a program using interrupts to simultaneously create 7 kilohertz and 500 hertz square waves on port 1.7 and port 1.6. So 2 waveforms with 2 different frequencies on port 1.7 and port 1.6. Okay. So we require on time or off time 71 microseconds at port 1.7, 1 millisecond at port 1.6. Okay, this is the program. I'm copying this program. So previous program is stop in this, stop debug. Here I'm pasting that program. So that is 2 square waves generated on port 1.6 and port 1.7. So already we discussed that always origin program start with 00H. So here only 3 bytes are allocated. Within 3 bytes where program completion is not possible, so that we are creating a link here. That link is at LGM space main. Next one is automatically enter into here, move tmod comma hash 1 to h. So 1 to 2 values initialized, timer 1 is initialized and timer 2 is initialized. So timer 1 and timer 2 both are initialized. Timer 1 is here 0, 1. Timer 1 is 1 indicates that 0001, that is called as a mode 1. Timer 2 equal to true, 2 indicates that mode 2. So mode 2 and mode 1. So move th0 comma hash 21h. Timer 0 is mode 2, so that 71 is loaded into th0. Start timer and set bit tf1. So move ie comma 8ah. So 8 is nothing but enable all, and a is nothing but 2 bits. One is timer 0 enable and second one is timer 1 enable. So that 8 plus 2 10, 10 is nothing but a. So total values is value is 8ah. That indicates that enable all bit enable, ea is enabled, and next one is timer 0 is enabled, timer 1 interrupt is enabled. Okay, interrupt overflow flag is enabled, and next SM to dollar. So stay in this same loop. And next one is whenever timer 0 is overflowed, then automatically enter into 00B location. Here LGM to timer 0 ISR, so that automatically enter into timer 0 ISR. Here complement port 1.7 and then return. So this is interrupt service routine for timer 0. And if timer 1 is overflows, then automatically, so timer 1 here already we said that timer 1, so that automatically enter into, by this instruction automatically enter into TF1. So that is available on the 001BH memo location. Here LGM to timer 1 ISR, LGM to timer 1 ISR. So clear TR1, stop timer 1, and then initialize value minus 1000H. Lower order is initialized here. So here minus 1000H, lower order is initialized here. Set bit TR1. So converted into minus 1000 is converted into use complement value, and whatever the value that higher byte is loaded into TH1, lower byte is loaded into TL0, and set bit TR1. Then automatically timer will be started and complement port 1.6 and then return. So one is auto reload function, so that by default it will be loaded minus 71. Second one is 1 millisecond required. 1 millisecond is nothing but 1000. So 1000 count is converted into hexadecimal value and then initialized with 1000 maximum minus 1000, 65 536 minus 1000, called as a 55 536, converted into hexadecimal value, and then lower value is loaded into TL1, higher value is loaded into TH1. Okay, this is the program for two different square waves. Then first compile this program. So before going to that one, save this program, rebuild the target, and then debug. Next, run. Here 6 and 7 both are continuously blinking. That indicates that our program is executing. Here create port 1.6 signal, and next create one more signal, port 1.7 signal. So two different square waves are generated with different frequencies. Okay, these are the two different square waveforms. So program everything is correct. Here replace these two values with the original value you required. Okay, so two different waveforms generated at port 1.7 and port 1.6. So by using interrupt mechanism. So by using by using interrupt mechanism, you can perform more number of tasks at a time. So normal, by using polling method, we cannot perform more number of tasks. You can able to perform only one particular task. That is the advantages by using this interrupt.